Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another live stream by Virtual Flight Diaries. We are here in Aspen, Colorado with the Beech Starship by Blacksquare. And yes, sir, we're going to take this puppy up from Aspen, Colorado up to Jackson Hole because, mountains, right? Anyway, it's going to be a fairly long flight. Looks like we're going to have a headwind the whole way, so maybe close to 2 hours. Ooh. But just got off shift, 12 hours. 12 hours in a jail. I'm ready to fly. So, all right. So we got ground power hooked up. We got chocks. We checked everything else out. We pulled all the pins. We got a lot to do. So let's get on board and let's get started. All right. So do a little bit of a flow, get things going here. I got SimBrief flight plan up. We're going to use Beyond ATC just because I did have a long day and I just feel like chilling out. So, and that is what AI ATC offers, a little bit of a chill out. All right, so we're going to take 2,700 pounds of fuel on board. Let's load these tanks up, see where that gives us. 26. $27.40, $27.11 required. Trip fuel $14.19. So that's all. That's almost double for our alternate. Wow. All right, and we got 5 passengers on board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That all looks good. Almost max takeoff weight. That's going to be awesome. All right, so let this close up the cabin door, pull the wheel chocks. We'll have the ground cool crew. Keep the external power on. Just going to cheat a little bit just to make sure we're all good. Don't want any issues. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Cockpit preparation check. Parking brake is set. Control locks have been removed. Gear lever is down. Battery on. Trim neutral. Okay, I'm going to set the trim to take off just to be. Yeah. Access to that stuff. All right, so. All right. Rudder trim all neutral. Neutral. And oxygen pressure, we have 1850 on board. That looks good. Battery can't come off. So it sucks up battery pretty good. So, all right. So we're on ground power. So I'm going to fire that up. We're going to get our flight plan in. So we have, you can see we're not running a GPS because, yeah, this Starship has a pretty cool CDU. So we're going to, battery can come on, external power on, ECAS and pilot can come on. So the last time we came in, I actually flew the Learjet into Aspen the last time we were here. And yeah, it was we actually went around, believe it or not. And I had the spoiler out, so it was almost gonna crash. But we were able to recover that from what I remember. All right, initialize the system. That okay. We're gonna get a message. Yep. I'm gonna update the BLF. Although we're not using it, I don't know why we have to do that. But okay. Your flight plan. All right. So we have to build the whole flight plan from scratch. Every waypoint. You can't put an airway in. So you got to put each waypoint out. If you're using an RNAV, you got to build the RNAV up. It's I actually like it. It's pretty cool. I mean, you could put the 430 in here and do conventional GPS navigation. What the heck happened? Why do I not have this gauge? Is that... Oh, okay. That must be... Yeah, okay. Oh, for a second I had some kind of WASM failure. All right. So let's build out our flight plan. First off, we're going to... Of course, I don't even think Blacksquare... I don't know if Blacksquare uses... Well, either way. Got a lot to do. A lot of checklists to go through. A lot of planning. So let's get our clearance.
1407 Zulu, landing runway 15, departing runway tree. Temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Aspen-Pitkin County Sardis Field. Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo. Aspen-Pitkin County Sardis Field Airport information Kilo. 1407 Zulu, landing runway 15, departing runway tree. Temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Aspen-Pitkin County Sardis Field. Advise on initial contact.
Good. All right, 3-3. 3-3 is what I had planned. Better winds that way. All right, so IFR clearance.
November 723 Sierra Charlie.
See if we'll give us the Lens 1.
To Jackson Hole.
November 723. Sierra Charlie clearance, clear to Jackson Hole Airport. Radar vectors lens, then as filed. Maintain 12,000. Expect flight level 260, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 123.8. Squawk 0530.
Cleared to Jackson Hole Airport. Radar vectors
Right.
lens, then as filed. Maintain 12,000. Expect flight level 260, 10 minutes after departure. Departure
0530.
123.8. Squawk 0530, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
November 723. Sierra Charlie, read back. Correct. Contact ground.
All right, so there's two ways to put a flight plan in this thing. You could click on the board, you'll get a keyboard option.
November 723 Sierra
You
Charlie.
can also use the 1990s text method, which is you use, so each number designation, like a phone, has A, B, C, D, E, F. So if you want to use the letter, so say, we want to use K for KASE for our starting airport. So we would hit 4 and letter twice. That gives us K. Once you get the hang of it, and anyone that has, had a cell phone in the late 90s would certainly know how to use this. You could actually get going pretty quick. So And once you get it down pat, it's actually faster, I believe, than using the keyboard. All right, so we're going to go lens. So that's L, 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be typing simulator for a minute. XSW. You can see you can get moving pretty good. You can kind of get a rhythm going. Next is Jesse. And then direct CKW. And DNW. You know, and then if you make a mistake, you can always just clear it out. But I would definitely suggest those that have the Starship to kind of practice that. It really does make things easier, especially when you're in flight and you're going to get that that change. Maybe you plan the ILS and all of a sudden you're given an RNAV for another runway and it's an RNAV only. So Jackson Hole has got us coming in 1-9, but I tell you what, 1-9 is looking with a tailwind of 8 knots. So let's plan runway 1, and I'm going to ignore beyond ATC if they continue to give us 1-9, because I have a feeling it's not going to be good. So, and that's perfect. A perfect example, because 1 doesn't have an ILS, but rather an RNAV. So we'll do the RNAV Zulu. Let's check this out. RNAV Zulu. Actually, RNAV X-ray might work better. Let's do the RNAV X-ray. RNAV X-ray for Tuvok. What's that? Star Trek Voyager? My nerd show. All right. So now before you put the final airport waypoint in, we're going to build our RNAV. So from DNW, we're going to go to Tuvok. Well, no, that's not right. There we go. And then from Tuvok, it's Shogo X. So hopefully that's in the system. So, and then we're going to come around. So it's kind of like a little hook. We're going to go, this is why you want your external power plugged in, because our battery would be dead if we did all this on battery power. Oomba. Right. Now, after Homba, we're going to start down on Valku. So this doesn't have a coupled VNav, approach ability. So it's all advisory VNav. So we're going to have to plug in our altitudes as well. Valku. And from Valku, we're going to go to Desave. Zuggen. Well, that's a long RNAV. Start to get an appreciation for all these waypoints that just automatically appear in your regular GPSs. You have to type all the waypoints out. Oh, one more. All right. Now, I'll tell you what, we're gonna fill in our VNav with the en route just to get going, because we still have a heck of a checklist to go through. I'm not going to do a long one, and I actually have a personal revised one that I use. And finally, and then end flight plan. Oosh. All right, so that is all in. We can now feel that. Battery on, ECAS on. All right, I think we're ready for the next phase of checklists. I don't know if this guy's an old. All right, airstare door is closed. Parking brake is on. Control locks are removed. Circuit breakers are all in. Revisionary panels are set. Audio panels set. Static sources normal. Oxygen supply is pulled on. Speed. And I like to, because we're starting the engine, I like to do the fire test. Because why would you? Like, this is like halfway down the, the list with the engines already running. And all All right, ice protection is all off. Landing gear lever is down 3 green. Yep. Anti-skid is on. Center revisionary panel is set. Standby indicators are checked. And a battery is on. And we'll check the voltage. We are going to do a it's all above 22 and 23, so that looks good. So we're going to do a battery start. ECAS is on and checked. Oxygen is 1850 good. Light master can come on. We got nav, beacon. Well, strobe's low. That's the beacon. Turn the seatbelt signs on. We're all juiced up. We're ready to go. All right, strobe's low. Okay, engine start battery checklist. Passenger signs are on. Strobe's low. Power levers are at idle, which is just out of notch. Propellers full forward. Condition levers idle cutoff. We're ready for engine start. Let's fire these bad boys up. All right, turn in engine 2. Off, and we can go to run. That looks good. So we reset, generator comes to life. Right generator takes up the full load. Now we can fire up engine 1. Actually, after we disconnected the ground power. Turn 1. So what you're going to look here, so we're going to do this one from the inside. Got the props coming up. Waiting for max motoring on N1, which is around 17.1. The minimum you could throw fuel into the engine is 12. But it's just easier on the engines to go to max motoring. So we're waiting for 50 to come here, and then we can shut the starter off because it can sustain itself after 50. There we go. And then we're waiting for it to go all the way to green. There we go. Didn't quite get there, but it looks like it was staying put. All right, 71, 72, and that's 2 good starts. We can bring that back to ground fine. And we mark that off that they're within 10% parallel generators. And jam bus ties closed. We check that. Right gen, center bus, that's all good. Stereo powder is off, and battery is good. I'll keep you on the left gen. All right, standby power come on. Let's get lows here. So we'll come down. We got it's 35 degrees in the cabin, so let's get some. So let's come on. Notice that. And we got the blowers can't come on too high. And it goes to auto. That should start climbing the cabin. There we go. All right, so next checklist. After start before taxi, we got pilot, co-pilot avionics on, standby indicators are on, bleed air is on both, blowers are as required, temperature model select is on as an auto, forward nose wing is retracted, standby altitude is uncaged, cabin lights are on, CAS is considered after start. Checklist complete. So now we're going to do, so instead of waiting for the taxi, while we're waiting for the cabin to warm up, we're going to do our tests. So check again the fire test. That looks good. That looks good. I don't know if there's an, I don't remember, no, I don't think there's an RO wording. And we'll reset you. There we go. All these sound, they have a really satisfying click to them. It's really nice. All right. So that goes forward. That's working. Battery monitor, battery charge rate is 0. Don't need to charge or press cabin rate. So slow warning, check. Test the angle of attack, and then we'll go to stick shaker. Overspeed warning. Indicator check. All the nuts here, lights, we are all lit up. That's looking good. Lead here. That's good. We got our surface de-ice tests. We got the vacuum. Standby, all the boots failed. That test is complete. And then let's go. All right, so now all right, so that's done. So taxi checklist, taxi lights can come on, passenger sides are all on. There's taxi lights. So little trick here. If you go anti-collision light, okay, so we got the strobes on low. If you go anti-collision light on, when you press the low, it automatically switches off. So I kind of keep that on. So all I got to do is just hit this button and I'll switch between the two. There's a little trick, if you, I guess you want to call it that. All right, so we got request taxi to runway.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, request taxi.
Over
November 723 Sierra Charlie, runway 33
do
taxi
our
via
run up.
Alpha Niner.
Runway 33 taxi via Alpha Niner, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
So we want the arc map, I want map up, I want radar. I'm gonna get this all in. I don't know if we're gonna get the message again. Right, so this is the VNAV page. That's where we'll go to that in cruise. And I want this up and stand by. We'll put ATC on. We are all set. 33 via Alpha 9, so it's all the way down. It's only one runway here, so it's not a big deal. It does have a simulated beta range, so we're in ground fine right now. So what it is it's feathering out the propellers to give us less
Jet
thrust.
636, Aspen ground, pushback approved. Face south.
Go down over here, out of everybody's way, and let's do our run-up test. Brake, parking brake on. Track you. Check the parking brake is set. Light is working. That's good. Alright, so we're going to bring it into idle. It kind of just snaps in there. Let everything spool up. And let's do our run-up test. So, low pitch test. So, low pitch. Watch it for the drop. Once it's released, we'll watch it for the climb. And then overspeed governor test propellers, full forward propeller test switch.
Exec Jet 636 ready to taxi to the active.
And we'll bring the power levers up to 1620, release it, and we should see a climb.
Alpha 9er.
Runway 33 taxi via Alpha 9er, Exec Jet 636.
Forward.
November 723 Sierra Charlie. Hold position for traffic.
Here's our climb.
Hold position, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
Power back to idle. Propeller feather test. Alright, propellers low RPM. So we'll bring them back. But not feather them. And then we are going to advance the power levers to 17 torque. Get the hold. So we'll bring it up to 17 on the torque. Good enough for government work.
Exec Jet
And
636, contact Aspen Tower
what we're going to do here
118.85.
is
Contact Tower 118.85, Exec Jet 636.
the right engine, and we'll wait for it to feather out. You can see that it did. See the big drop in, you're going to watch the propeller RPM, it's going to be a big drop. That's the propeller automatically feathering out. And I'll bring back the left. Bang. Big drop. Propeller auto feather test complete, armed. And then the manual feather tests. Drop the propellers on the feather.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, continue taxi.
Drop.
Continue taxi,
Drop.
November
There
723
we
Sierra
go.
Charlie.
That looks good. All right, there's our run up. Told you it's a long checklist. All right, that's it. So now we are going to set the cabin. Going up to level 260, so we're going to put 270 in the window here. It's 270. We're going to make sure in the 10 o'clock and that we're in the normal position. Feed air valves are on both, and that's good. Cabin's up. For our climb out, and 273 on the heading, because that's our turnout after we take off. Once we've gone above 9,000 feet, we're going to turn 273 and head direct to the winds. That's the city. 12,273. That's it. Let's bring the propellers up and nose wing out, or a nose wing out. This isn't actually flaps. It's flaps in the checklist, but it's actually a wing. All right. Break off. So, how's everybody doing tonight? This fine evening, morning, or whenever you are viewing this. I appreciate everybody tuning in for our Beech Starship flight. Sorry, this one got delayed. I had a little family switch up, so I had to postpone it, but here we are. But I appreciate you guys hanging in there and tuning in all the same. If you haven't already, how about you hit that like button for the Beech Starship? I really feel as though this thing just did not get its due. I don't know if it was too niche or what, but like everybody, including myself, we kind of streamed it a little bit, and then that was it. I don't know what the heck is up with this taxiway, but it's beating the heck out of my shocks. And it really is a very fun plane to fly. I mean, especially if you're not throwing in that, throwing in the GPS. You know, it's very old school,
November 723
80s, 90s.
Contact Aspen Tower 118.85.
One thing I haven't figured out yet, and I really should sit down and take the time to learn, is the very low frequency navigation, the VLF Omni system that's on board this thing. It's been simulated. I have not learned that one. So let's request departure.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, ready to go. Runway 33.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, Aspen Tower, fly heading 330, runway 33, cleared for takeoff.
All right, we have another checklist to do.
330, runway 33, cleared for takeoff, November 723, Sierra Charlie.
Clear for takeoff. All right, so for takeoff, holding auto feather armed. Check altimeters at 30.28 in the bus. Stall warning heat on. It's on. Probably got to get a message for an overheat. That's okay. We're going to be taking off shortly. All right, vent cable heat on. Anti-ice is not needed. Window heats are low. Bleed air valves are on both. Engine auto ignition to on. So right here. Flaps set for takeoff. That is forward wing out. Pitch roll set for takeoff. Takeoff speeds are confirmed. We're going to rotate just about 106 because of our altitude. Autopilot is all set, complete. Transponder is on and responding, and weather radar is on. And that is our before takeoff checklist. Let's get out of here. All right, guys. Spool them up. We're ready. Let's get out of here. Stand them up. Drag the brakes. Overheat. Pick up thrust set. Here's 106. Let's go flying. Pause the rate, gear up. Get our head back in because we got to maintain runway heading.
Sierra Charlie, contact Aspen departure.
Contact Aspen departure, November 723.
So we don't run
Sierra
into
Charlie.
a okay, there's 130. So once we're past blue line, we can bring the nose in.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, Aspen departure. Good morning, radar contact. Climb, maintain 13,000 feet.
Climb,
Yeah, we're
maintain
above 9,000, so we could turn
273.
273.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, turn left, heading 295.
Turn left, heading 295, November 723, Sierra Charlie.
Alright, they're going to take us to right.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, contact Denver Center 134.5.
Contact Denver Center 134.5, November 723, Sierra Charlie. Denver Center, November 723, Sierra Charlie. Good morning, through 1,200 feet for 13,000.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Denver Center. Good morning. Climb, maintain flight level 260.
Climb maintain flight level 260, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
260, so let's climb up. We'll put profile climb on, and what it'll do is it'll actually slow us up in stage.
Roger, heading direct Linz, then resume mode
So we
navigation.
don't have to worry about it.
723 Sierra Charlie, thanks.
Climb. Go, now it's going to slow back down to 180, and then we can go direct to Linz.
Denver Center, United 2666, flight level 368.
And so we are already on the money,
United
direct to
2666, Denver
Linz.
Center, roger. Denver Center, SkyWest
Good
5229,
auto sequence
flight level
if
306.
we did things right, which is put it on FMS. Remember, nav source. Nav source, guys. Nav source.
Roger.
Okay. But we were already heading direct to Linz, just based on our departure. All right, so climbing out, we have a climb checklist. After takeoff, climb power is set, yaw dampener is on. Nose wing is retracted, gear is retracted, inertial separators were not used, anti-ice is not required, engine ignition can come off. Propeller sync is on, and we are going to bring it back to 1600. Nose engines brake, which is set at 1600, which is climb power. I should have said that. That's climb power. We can sync it up. All right. Propeller sync is on. Passenger signs can come off. Yes, the 90s. Smoke if you got them. Pressurization, temperature, and oxygen all checked. We are pressurizing good. That all looks good. And landing lights can come off. All right. After takeoff, climb checklist complete. It's a revised one. So after I get the file looking all nice, I'm going to actually post that in my Discord. It's got some of the flows cut out, so you might want to study and get your flows in there. Kind of trims it up a little bit.
United 2185, contact Denver Center 126.5. Contact Denver Center 126.5, United 2185.
So how's it going?
SkyWest 3260, contact Denver Center 127.55. See you. Center on 127.55, SkyWest 3260. Have a good morning. Denver Center, United 1824, descending VSK 4, flight level 367.
That's actually a pretty cool view. I like that.
United 1824, Denver Center, radar.
Reminds me of that flying magazine.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, contact Denver Center 128.65.
Center on 128.65, November 723 Sierra Charlie, see you. Denver Center, November 723 Sierra Charlie, out of flight level 239 up at flight level 260.
Roger.
All right, now we'll get into chill mode. So you can see we started out at 180 and it starts to step down. So once you get into the next phase, the 20,000s, it'll step down to 160s. If we were going into the 30s, it would step down to 140. The upper 30s would go all the way down to 130, and 130 is the max angle. And we're going to be hit with a pretty decent wind. So, oh, one of the things you want to watch out for is your temps. So that they were yellow, we can actually get temp limited and over temp our engines. Show the oil display. Cruise, so the auto feather could come off. It's cool enough outside so the avionics below her can come off. So we start kind of like depowering for cruise, so we're not putting so much stress on the generators.
Denver Center, United 2185, good morning, descending via Longs 4, flight level 28.
And the CAS is clear. All set.
United 2185, Denver Center, copy.
So I'm going to actually set it for a max cruise. You're going to set it mindful of, so it's going to be a fuel flow of 400. This is essentially a King Air. So you want to, King Airs are generally cruise power set generally by the fuel flow, from my understanding. I remember learning the King Air when Blacksquare dropped their steam gauge version. And you had 400 for max cruise, 300 for normal cruise, and a fuel flow of like 270 for a long range cruise. And that's what I gathered from real world King Air pilots, that they would set the fuel flow for power settings. And of course, being mindful of our ITT, which is well within limits, but we'll just keep half an eye on that. And that looks good. Such a beautiful plane. It's a shame it really never took off. And for like the mid 80s, this thing was wildly state of the art.
4.5, Delta 1447.
Airliners didn't have this much glass. So, VNAVs, how do we set that up, right? Click VNAV and it'll give us our waypoints. So, we're all good. So, we're going to go scroll down to our RNAV waypoints. And we're going to look here and see what our restrictions are. The RNAV X-ray 1. So, HOMVA. So we're going to look at TUVOC. TUVOC, we're going to need to be at 13,000 for TUVOC. So just plug in 13,000. We're going to use this side of the CDU.
Have a good one.
13,000 at TUVOC, and it's going to give us a vertical speed target advisory. Based on, I believe, 4 degrees. I think that's the calculation is 4 degrees. I could be wrong. But then we're going to go to JOGOX. And JOGOX is going to be 11,700. And HOMVA is going to be 11,700. This gives us a little time to get down from 13,000 if we have to. All right, so Valku is going to be 11,000. Love the Rockies. Now, if you did, we took this plane on the one stream. We took this plane into Paro, so we're no slouch with the mountains. Well, we flew this in the Himalayas. That's 10-4. We're Deceive, and then our intercept is going to be Zujin at 9,500. And I'm going to show you a little what I do to finish off the
Good morning, Denver Center, United 2087.
the RNAV. So this Zujin is going to be 9,500.
United 2087, Denver
And if
Center.
we're still not visual yet, it's going to be like it's going to be 10 miles out. So if we're still not visual yet, we still have another altitude. We could do 8180. And this will actually, once we reach here, this will start giving us our descent VS for the approach. And then for Jacksonville or Jackson Hole, I actually put the touchdown zone altitude so then it could give us our descent VS all the way down to the runway. So our touchdown zone altitude is 64.31. And that's how I finish out the RNAV approach.
Denver Center, radar
And
contact.
during the approach, I'll have this screen up so I can keep it just a glance at the vertical speeds.
United 2185, contact Denver Center 125.905.
And once you do a couple of them, it's actually not that bad, because like you have everything right here. So you have your vertical speed indicator right here, altitude all in one, right above your VNAV marks. And you know, just glance down here. We're on our approach. I mean, you're not even looking out the window yet. You got your GPS flying the LNAV, and then you can manually handle the VNAV with these two right here. I don't think weather's going to be a factor, so we're going to put the ground terrain radar on. So that's because that is going to be a factor.
November 939, Hotel Echo, contact
Ground
Denver
map.
Center
So,
119.85.
Center on 119.85, November 939, Hotel Echo.
Oh, one and a half. All right. Yeah, we're looking good. All right, so we got about an hour left of the flight, guys. What are we going to do?
United 1314, heavy contact Denver Center 134.5.
Center on 134.5.
I absolutely love that view. I don't know. That's going to get a screenshot, definitely. So there was a flying magazine, and I don't know if it could be some kind of visual effect that I remember. I remember this view right here on the cover of Flying Magazine. I could have been
November
wrong.
723, Sierra Charlie, contact Denver Center 126.5.
Contact Denver Center 126.5, November 723, Sierra Charlie.
So this plane was supposed to
Denver Center, November 723,
replace the
Sierra
King Air.
Charlie, flight level 260.
That was the idea.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Denver Center, roger.
Yeah, this was supposed to replace the King Air. I guess it was just cost effectiveness. of the whole design. Whole fiberglass thing. I mean, the Rutan design is one of my favorites. It just looks so futuristic, I guess would be a good word. And especially I have a personal attachment to the Rutan design because my uncle built a Long Easy in the 80s, and I grew up. So he started, I think I was like 6 years old when he started building this thing. So I literally, my childhood was growing up, going to visit my uncle in his barn and seeing the progression of this Long Easy being built, the fiberglass over wood frame, all the way up to him putting the panel together. He had a Loran for navigation, which was, to me, I was like, wow. Yeah, there's 10-year-old me looking at this thing and going, wow. And for those that don't know, Loran was a pre-GPS navigation device. So cool. So do you guys have any thoughts on the Starship? Like, what do you guys think about it? Do you think it was too niche that just lost its popularity with the sim? Like, you know, kind of just like died off the face of the earth, right?
November 723, Sierra Charlie. Contact Denver Center 134.5.
When did this release? This released midsummer, somewhere in there. And it seemed like, yeah, it was like within a month. Nobody was streaming it.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Denver Center. Exec Jet 636. Contact.
I guess it didn't really have any very, purpose. Like, I don't know any virtual airlines that have it in their fleet. Even my business charter virtual airline doesn't have it in their fleet. It would be cool if it was. On Air has it, but On Air gets kind of tedious. So yeah, even I don't fly it so much. It's just because I can't find purpose to it.
Denver Center, November 3rd.
But I think it was a couple streams ago. Drug Billy mentioned this, and I was like, you know what? Let's fly this.
Denver Center, United 2643, descending via Ski 4, flight level tree 29er.
All right, so let's see what do we have.
Denver Center, radar contact.
What's our ground speed? 237. Yep, there it is. 80 knots. The weather wasn't lying. Yeah, we should be at this setting. We should be like cooking. Let's see, just a little more. We're direct 80 knot headwind. Wind's pretty cool coming into the engine, so it's going to keep us.
United 1314 Heavy, contact Denver Center 125.675. Have a good morning.
Sync up the fuel flows.
Center on 125.675.
Eke out a little bit more speed. we're looking at Tuvok. So when this gets to,
United 2643, contact Denver Center
excuse me, when this gets to
119.85.
about
Have a good
1,000, 1,200 feet per minute, we're
Center on 119.85, United
gonna
26.
call for our descent, start down. So it's not easy. This thing actually is very slick. It doesn't want to slow up. So the big thing is to try to manage, manage your descent speed so that you're not too fast, too late, because you're really not gonna
United 1005,
slow up enough.
contact Denver Center 127.55.
And one of the major problems with this plane is that she will float.
United 1005, have a good
She
one.
will float big time. She'll float forever because there's no spoilers, there's no thing. It just hits ground effect and just keeps going. You must have to sometimes do that, dip that wing to try to kill the to create a little more drag. I don't know, do I have my view set? Yep. Nice.
Denver Center, exec jet tree 86, flight level tree 908.
Exec Jet Tree 86, Denver Center, copy.
So generally it had a very somewhat quiet cabin. I think the fiberglass kind of muffled things. So yeah, so one of my big things that I like to do
United 1247,
is come up with effective but more streamlined checklists for planes.
1247, Denver Center, copy.
So I thought about building a whole bunch for the stuff that we fly, and that you guys also fly. That maybe you guys would want to pick them up. So I was thinking of starting putting them on the Discord, the files. It's just going to be regular, either PDF or Word format. I think I'll convert them all to PDF because that's more accessible for everybody. But if you want, let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. Yeah, we're not going to get the Airbus. Airbus is already streamlined. I know a lot of people like the checklists with the flows in them. They're really good if you want to learn to learn, fly a plane, and to learn the flows, like for a 737 or Airbus, or even there's flows for every plane. There's a flow for this plane, and but I really like putting together paper, streamlined, effective checklists. So, let me know. There's one thing I'd like to get back into too, guys. If you, when I first started this channel, I was doing fan-picked flights. If you guys want to see an area in the simulator, or would like to see me try, if you guys know maybe a real challenging airport, that you guys would want to see me attempt to bring maybe something stupid, you know. Over on my Discord, I do have a fan pick section. You can always just, you know, type in a suggestion and actually help me out. Plan on, you know, doing streams that you guys like.
Denver Center, Foothills 444, flight level 361.
I am going to do something crazy next week.
Foothills 444, Denver Center.
Planning on, we're going to go back into the A340 again because I want to fly that more. And we're going to do a flight to
Delta 1130.
St. Helena, which is a little island in the Atlantic Ocean off the west coast of Africa. And it's got a nice little short bluff type runway. And I want to bring the do something crazy and bring the A340 in on that.
Exec Jet Tree 86, contact Denver Center 125.35.
Contact Denver Center 125.35.
So that's happening next week.
Have a good morning.
Got really cool South African Airlines livery for the A340, so we're going to support that. And other than that, I don't know what we're going to be flying. I'll put the schedule together Sunday. Hopefully, life doesn't get in the way. I could keep that schedule.
Denver Center 125.675.
I really do hope you guys don't get so. I hope you guys really don't get annoyed with that I have to change it up. I wish I could stream full time and that this would be my only job. But real life job gets in the way. You know, law enforcement doesn't have exactly set schedules. You know, I got a shift, but things never really work out. You know, it could be 12 hours, it could be 14 hours, it could end up being 16 hours. And, you know, I won't know until it's too late. So that's what happens with that stuff.
Denver Center, Exec Jet 816, good morning, flight level tree 9.
And then, of course, the one-off, you know, the once in a while, the, you know, the family.
Exec Jet 816, Denver Center, radar contact.
All my kids are grown, so they all live out. So every once in a while, they'll be like, I'll get a text message, and they'll be like, last minute, hey, I'm coming home to visit. Wow. I haven't seen my daughter in a month, so, you know, she wants to come and visit. That causes a stream to get kind of postponed. That kind of stuff.
United 281.
I just don't want you to think that I'm.
Continue climb to flight level tree
You know,
00.
I know you guys. You know, you plan to watch the videos. You follow the schedule, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm free Thursday at 4:30. That's what he's got it planned, and then all of a sudden it's bam. I know it can get a little frustrating, but just know that it's not on purpose. Just so you know, it's not on purpose. I'm not, you know, sitting there going, screw those guys. I'm not streaming. No, I really like streaming for you guys. It's really nice. It's real fun. Or I wouldn't do it. So there's a little hiccup there. Like the terrain. I can't wait for winter to start hitting and we start having the challenge of flying in snowstorms and icing, and it's actually really my favorite time of year to fly in the simulator, because all I ever do is real world live weather. You know, I don't do the preset weathers or anything like that. So now it's the season of, I go fly in the Rockies. I'll take a Baron into a snowstorm. I mean, we can do some really cool, challenging flights coming up.
November 316, Golf Victor.
do some icing ops with a DC-3 or even, the jetliners, and de-icing and everything else.
Exec Jet 816.
Fun time, fun time.
United 281, Denver Center. Expect Spain 8, runway tree 4 left.
Expect Spain 8, runway 34 left, United 281.
We are just crawling along, even at max thrust. I could barely get. I'm not even doing. I'm 235. I can't get 240 on it. We got that strong headwind.
Radar contact.
Welcome to winter flying, right?
Foothills for 44, Denver Center. Expect Avon 1, runway 26.
Expect Avon 1, runway 26, foothills for 44.
November 723 Sierra Charlie. Contact Denver Center 132.1.
Contact Denver Center 132.1, November 723 Sierra Charlie. Denver Center, November 723 Sierra Charlie, flight level 260.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Denver Center. Air Shuttle 6172. Contact Salt Lake Center 133.25.
Contact Salt Lake Center 133.25, Air Shuttle 6172.
It came in the other way, right? Flew into Aspen. Everybody flies into Aspen. I thought we'd fly out of Aspen. That's a little different take. If we'd had a 80 knot tailwind, we'd have been cooking. Yeah, so saying, if things get changed last minute and stuff like that, that's why it's a good thing if you want to join my Discord. Try to build that up too. It's a really great way to communicate with you guys, as opposed to putting posts on YouTube, which is kind of, I mean, it's cool for certain aspects, but to make announcements, it's not. But Discord, I can ping everybody and let everybody know, like, hey, something might come up, and that way you guys have a handle on when I stream. I'm really trying to build that communication with you guys. Plus, I get a lot of questions, so people put comments in YouTube under the video, and I get it. It's convenient there, especially if you're not even yet a subscriber to the channel and just popping in a question there. I get that too, but any questions you have on Flight Sim, it would be easier to answer them all through Discord, because the interface to answer questions, especially long answers, it's hard to do on YouTube's comment section. In the Discord, I can actually, if you're really struggling with something, I can actually throw a little video up and answer the question that way. Can't do that on the YouTube comment section. It's also, I dialed the time back, just so you guys. It's morning time, because it will be pitch black out right now. Yeah, so the A340 flight, I'm going to do that on network. So we could all fly together too, if you guys want. You too, if you guys have never been to St. Helena Island. The claim to fame for that island is actually where Napoleon was exiled to. It's really, really remote. And I've never been there before, and the runway should be just long enough to land the A340. I did do some landing calculations on SimBrief, and it looks like it's doable with a couple 100 feet to spare. So I'm gonna have to be pretty precise. And if we're not precise, we're gonna end up in the ocean if I don't go around. So a couple 100 feet to spare is that's full reverse max braking. It's pretty razor thin. Looks like it's doable. I got some scenery for it off FSTO. That should be a fun flight. Alright, so it does look like we're going to get... Looks like we might get runway 1, so we don't have to play the ignore ATC. Alright, so let's brief the approach. Let's get that out of the way. We got our VNAVs all set. We got the flight plan in, or the approach plan in the CDU. So we're going to be flying the RNAV X-ray runway 1 approach into Jackson, Wyoming, Jackson Hole Airport. We have a inbound course of 6 degrees. Our intercept is at Zujin at 9,500 with a decision altitude of 6,651, which is 220 feet above the ground. Airport elevation 6,451. Missed approach. If we have to go miss, we're going to climb 14,000 feet direct court and then track the 88 VOR to DNW and hold, continuing to climb to 14,000 on the hold. And then follow ATC instructions from there. We got our VNAV set up. We got 11,700 on HOMVA, 11,000 on Valco, 10,400 on Deceive, and Zujin is set at 9,500, so we're all set there. All right. Hey, Blowheed, how's it going? How's your flight tonight? Everything's going good so far, knock on wood. Except for our 80 knot headwind. Just slowing things up just a tad. That's good to hear. Just getting ready for descent. Yeah, we're a little early on it. I thought I'd get the brief out of the way. Got about 30 minutes left before we get there. So We're going to be doing an RNAV approach. So I was going to demonstrate how you do a manual RNAV in this in the Starship. I said my best friend is retiring at his career with Air Canada in little over a month. I'm going to photograph the water salute for the retiring pilots. That's pretty cool. That's that water salute is actually a pretty cool send off, in my opinion. So, you're very much looking forward to that. All right, yeah. So, I am too, because I don't often get to do the RNAV in this plane. So, to be honest with you, we haven't flown this plane a lot at all. We were just talking about that. That the Starship kind of fell off the map. Let's say it is a special moment for him. I had to get background checks done. I still don't know how much access I'll have to photograph. This is a pretty plane for sure. I love the pusher. Yeah, this one and the Piaggio. The Piaggio is good too. We haven't flown that one in a while. I don't even know if there's any updates or anything on the Piaggio. But pusher, I like this one because this one's a true canard. It's a Rutan design, and I have a very special tie to this this design. I was telling earlier with my uncle building his long easy, me growing up with that. So this design here with the canard and the wing with the classic Rutan. I wish we had a good. I know India Fox Echo made a long easy for the sim. It's not that good. I wish they would have spent more time with it, updated it. Said I don't own 2024, but I still fly 2020, and I really enjoy bush flying. I've been helping a friend build his third bush plane. Oh, that's awesome.
Center on 133.25, November 723 Sierra Charlie. See you.
How much I could do? Mostly a pair of arms. Yeah, but it's still you're still there involved, and that's got to be a blast. Because I tell you what, when growing up with that, watching that plane come together, the fiberglass being laid and paint, and then the cockpit panel, it was enjoyable. Even though I didn't really, I was a kid, so I didn't really have much hands-on with that, but it was just really neat seeing all that come together. It's a double-ender bush plane, and it is awesome. Yeah, cool. I like doing bush flying in the sim. Got a whole bunch of stuff over in Papua New Guinea. That area is great for bush flying in the sim. So it's really amazing. It's an absolute unit, 31 inches of suspension travel on a 36-inch Tundra tires. Oh wow!
Contact Salt Lake Center 128.35.
Contact Salt Lake Center.
See, setting that down on a riverbank. There's just something about Tundra tires that just make a plane a beast. He said I'm so proud of him. Him and I started our careers at the same place at the same time as mechanics. We still work in it, but seeing him build planes is amazing. I bet that's an awesome experience. I bet that is a very awesome experience.
Delta 2153 Salt Lake Center.
I wonder what that is. Nope. I guess we'll never know. It's not on the map. We were both part of a Canadian Youth Apprenticeship program, so we started our college degrees and certificates at grade 11. It was a great, it was a real great advantage. Well, that's really cool. It was kind of like in the United States in high school we have tech school. You can kind of go to vocational technical school in high school and kind of split off from the actual high school thing, and you can learn I think it's you can learn mechanics, carpentry, electrician stuff. You can do that in high school as well. I believe in the United States it starts off at grade 11 as well. He said, I'm sorry, I know you were a part of a pusher plane build, but did you say your dad built it? No, my uncle. My uncle.
Delta 2153, contact Denver Center, 132.1, have a good morning.
Center on 132.1, Delta 2153.
This is how both of us worked for Honda, and both got hired to work weekends and nights. That's how we became friends. So we still finished high school regularly, but we both had most of our hours in for our license by the time we graduated. Wow, that's really cool. So you were all ahead of the game. You were ahead of the game. That's awesome. That's awesome that there's programs like that can get you that head start. Oh, I can imagine. Just had a good bit, yes, on the experience part. A lot of the schooling still required, Honda specific stuff. Yeah, I believe that. Keep in mind this was 2004. I'm not sure what's out there.
Contact Salt Lake Center, 128.35. See you.
Center on 128.35 November.
I think it's still. I know. My nephew. My nephew's studying to be a mechanic. He's actually going to college for it. He started in high school, so it's stuff like that's still there.
Delta 876, contact Salt Lake Center 12 for point 35. See you.
Contact Salt Lake Center 124.35, Delta 876.
Ram, yeah, we might not be driving cars in the future, but we'll always need people to fix them. Ain't that the truth? You're absolutely right. They all may be automated, but someone's got to fix that automation. We'll always need somebody to keep them running.
Air Shuttle 6172, Salt Lake Center. Expect lost 1, runway 12.
Expect lost 1, runway 12.
Okay, so we're direct now to DNW, so we're going to be starting our descent shortly, probably next 10 minutes or so. Let's check our VNAV, see where we're at.
Salt Lake Center, Alaska for
Still got a way to go. This will start to jump up pretty quickly once we start getting closer to our point to go down.
Alaska for 73, Salt Lake Center. Good morning.
But we're looking at maybe 1,000 to we're going to try to not get past 1,500 feet.
United for 87, contact Salt Lake Center 132.4. Have a good one.
Center on 132.4, United 487.
Hey, I got to run. My dog's ready for her nighttime walk. It was nice meeting you, and I dropped a like and a sub. Fly safe, butter that landing, or butter that bread. Yes, sir, and thank you for the sub. Thank you for joining the chat. I love talking to you. It's awesome. Take care. All right, so got that coming up. So we're looking at I don't like this one. All right, so look at about 10 minutes. Come back. Gotta get that juice terrain look. Doesn't look like very much weather. The snow and storm is all in Chicago. I should have flown to Chicago, right? But I mean, the de-icing in this plane is actually very automatic. It has a lot of sensors on it that detect icing and will automatically engage the pneumatic boots to de-ice the plane. Really advanced for 80s. It really was a plane ahead of its time. For once, Asobo was correct on the weather report. It's real world. We fought that 80 knot headwind the whole way here. But there's our way out there. Is our destination. It's very desolate. Would not want to have to put down here. We would not want to put down here.
Salt Lake Center, United 1247, flight level, tree 4 tree. United 1247, Salt Lake Center, copy.
Alright, so we're all briefed. So let's see what we got for checklist. We had the cruise checklist, but that's really not read out. Alright, so next is the approach, and that's a 10,000 transition. So we're going to do transition because we are going to be mostly above 10,000 for our initial approach. So
Air Shuttle 6172, contact Salt Lake Center 1 tree 2.4.
Center on 1 tree 2.4, Air Shuttle 6172. Have a good morning.
Exec Jet 636, contact Salt Lake Center 118.05.
Center on 118.05, Exec Jet 636.
what do we get? Let's get an idea. Salt Lake Center, November 723 Sierra Charlie. What runway are they landing at Jackson Hole?
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Jackson Hole is using runway 19er for landing.
Ugh. Really am going to have to ignore it.
Salt Lake Center, SkyWest 3874, flight level tree 19er.
SkyWest 3874, Salt Lake Center.
Yeah, 19er's got that tailwind. I don't like that. Weather's been correct so far, wind-wise, so I'm not going to say that. Sobo, let's see what I got. Yeah, 050 at 5. Why would we be coming in there down ATC? Why? Yeah, okay. So we're going to have to
November 723 Sierra Charlie, request runway change.
November 723 Sierra Charlie. You've not yet been assigned an arrival runway. We'll come back with a descent clearance closer to your top of descent.
Thought I could get ahead of that. You know, it's another airplane we haven't flown in a while. I'll take the DC-3 up. Go to either Canada or Alaska. The DC-3. Be a good one.
SkyWest 3156, contact Denver Center 1 tree for 0.5.
Contact Denver Center 1 tree for 0.5. SkyWest 3156, see you.
I absolutely love whatever Blacksquare does. They are the most optimized planes.
Southwest 2544, contact Salt Lake Center 124.35.
Center on 124.35, Southwest 2544, have a good one.
Picked up some speed. Let's get the flight recorder up.
United 1247, contact Salt Lake Center 118.05.
Contact Salt Lake Center 118.05, United 1247.
Yeah, so now we're starting to get...
SkyWest 3874, Salt Lake Center. Expect Carter 1, runway tree 4 left.
Expect Carter 1, runway tree 4 left, SkyWest 3874.
Starting to get into some mountains here. Does look like we got a little bit of weather. Oh, pardon me. Sorry. Long day. So about your moon looks really tiny. Wonder if they're ever going to fix that. Never been to Jackson Hole in real life. That looks like a little weather. Once again, I am sorry about that. We should be getting our arrival clearance soon. What is the wind? Yeah, still fighting at 80 knots across the nose.
SkyWest 3874. Contact Salt Lake Center 124.35. Have a good one.
Contact Salt Lake Center 124.35, SkyWest 3874.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, Salt Lake Center. Expect ILS Zulu runway 19er.
All right, let's see if we could request a different runway.
Can we get a different runway, please? November 723 Sierra Charlie.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, roger, say runway.
Okay, so it's only giving us 19.
Cancel runway change request, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, roger, runway change request canceled.
I'm going to go as planned because look at the direction. I can't see it changing that much. I mean, other than getting slower. Still pretty good ways out. I was saying 16 minutes until arrival. right. Yeah, so it's Tuvok. So unless we went direct to Tuvok, I wonder if we can go direct to Tuvok. Which chart would have our altitudes?
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Jackson Hole landing, runway 19er.
Jackson Hole, landing runway 19er, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, expect the ILS Zulu runway 19er via Dunoir.
Expect the ILS Zulu runway 19er via Dunoir, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
723, Sierra Charlie, descend maintain 12,800 feet.
Descend, maintain
It's a little early.
12,800 feet. November 723 Sierra Charlie.
So we're not doing the ILS. We would definitely be now.
Sierra Charlie, cleared direct Dunoir. Cross Dunoir at or above 12,800. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 19er.
Cleared direct Dunoir. Cross Dunoir at or above 12,800. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 19er, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
FedEx 877 Heavy, turn left, heading 290.
Turn left, heading 290, FedEx 877 Heavy.
I don't want to still go to Dunoir.
WestJet 1532, contact Salt Lake Center, tree 5775.
Center on tree 5775, WestJet 1532.
So now they're saying that there is no wind at 19. Now it's just a crosswind. We did update the MEDAR. We're now at 105. That's what do you think, crew? I did want to demonstrate the RNAV, so we're going to do that. All right, we'll start down. So I always try to do 100 over, or as close to the vertical speed. One of the things we can do No, we're going to stick with the plan. We're going to stick with the plan. So we're just going to keep monitoring our nav reference, because that'll adjust as we go down. So if you go a little bit over, what that's going to do is going to give you, it's going to give you an earlier, just like maybe a mile before the thing, and that's fine to meet your crossing restriction.
Salt Lake Center, Pac Coast 150, flight level 449er. Pac Coast 150, Salt Lake Center, radar contact.
Nice slow descent.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, contact Salt Lake Center, 133.25.
Contact Salt Lake Center, 133.25, November 723, Sierra Charlie. Salt Lake Center, November 723, Sierra Charlie, flight level 230.
So use the top number to
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Salt Lake Center.
Monitor the descent. So we're leaving it here. We're actually a little below, so you're supposed to set it to
ExecJet 418, contact Denver Center
field elevation.
135.6.
Contact Denver Center 135.6, ExecJet 418.
Leaving it there. The tunage, because we're gonna be getting to work. Pretty steady at 8-900 should give us a nice. Just bring the power back. We don't want to get too fast. So we're gonna watch this because we pass Dunwall. It might adjust, so we might have to come down faster. And we can bring our range down.
Salt Lake Center, exit 509er, good morning, 6,900.
ExecJet 509er, Salt Lake Center. Good morning, radar contact. Climb and maintain 1717,000.
Climb and maintain 1717,000, ExecJet 509er.
Let's say that the Rockies in Microsoft Flight Simulator are amazing scenery.
Tier 904, Sydney Richland Airport landing runway 1.
All right, coming up on our turn, it's going to be a pretty sharp one.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, contact Jackson Tower 118.075.
Definitely going to overshoot this one.
Contact Tower 118.075, November 723, Sierra Charlie. Jackson Tower, November 723, Sierra Charlie, ILS Zulu runway 19er.
No, we're not.
November 723, Sierra Charlie, Jackson Tower, runway 19er, cleared to land.
Runway 19er cleared to land, November 723, Sierra Charlie.
Real sharp turn. Probably should have cut that corner. See, now we got all our waypoints for the RNAV in here with all our altitudes, so all our information is right here. There's transition, set you. All right, initial approach transition checklist. Since we're going to be above 10,000 for the majority of our approach, we're going to do the checklist now. So we got landing lights can come on. Passenger signs can come on. Inertial separators are not needed. Anti-ice will be automatic. Engine auto ignition can come on. And we will arm you. Not test, arm. Do the RNAV approach. Pressurization checked and landing speeds will confirm. We'll bring it in to 100 over the numbers, and that'll be our VREF. Approach checklist complete. Landing checks to go. That'll be short final. It's our icing indication. It should automatically go on as needed. We'll bring the power back. Zipping over the mountains. Past Tuvok. Tuvok is at or above. It's not a mandatory. So it's okay if we're a little high. Remember, I got the 2 other waypoints to get us down to 11.7. It'd be a little conservative anyway. Just looking at that leading edge, that's going to ice first. Doesn't look like we're accumulating anything. It's a good speed. We can bring the throttles up. Or the propellers, not the throttles. Let's see, come off. 1,000 to go. Kind of reminds me of coming into Paro. Kinda. Mountains were a little taller. Just kick out the sounds of the engine just a little bit. And look at that, we made our mark there. So we're going to bring it down to, the next one is 11.7. Look at here, we got a little ways to go. Kind of stay up at this altitude for just a little while. Make our passengers a little easier, considering the mountain peaks are pretty close. And we'll keep it under landing gear speed so we can throw them out when needed. It's good we don't want to get too far ahead of it, so 600. And power back just a little bit. Keep that right around 200. kind of doing heads down, we would be looking at this, monitoring this. This is our VNav component right here. We know that the GPS is LNAVing us. So even though, you know, if this was a complete whiteout and we couldn't see these mountains, we would have our situational awareness is here. You can always tilt down the ground terrain radar. You see how that's coming in. What it's using is it's using the weather radar to map the ground. And just bounce around 40 on the torque. Keeping our speed managed. We leveled off, we could bounce it up a little bit. Should make our turnout. So this should, following this RNAV, should keep us clear of the mountains, although it's going to bring us pretty close. Close, but we're clear. So, like I said, we could trust. It's good that we're visual. I mean, we could trust that we're not going to hit the mountains just because we're visual. But if we couldn't see these mountains, we would have a good sense of mind to know that we're not going to hit them. And that's why these two waypoints are staying at this altitude. You can see that if we did descend down to, like, say 11,000, we probably would be in the danger zone. Our airport should be down in this valley here. So our next altitude is 11,000. So we just dial that in. Now we're passing that. We can look at Value, and we're looking at about 600. And you can see, following that, we kept clear of all our mountains, and we would just keep following these waypoints down until we were visual. Well, we're going to get visual pretty early, so. But I'll keep up on it just to show, just to demonstrate. We should pass Value. Bring that down just a little more. And 10-4. That's 800, so it's starting to come down a little faster. And we'll get the recorder up, just so we don't forget. See, just following it down and just managing it through the target speed where we're making all our passing restrictions. There's Deceive at 10-4. I'm going to bring it down to 9,500. This will be our intercept. Back in our descent. Here's capture. Our next one is an odd one at 8,100. So we're gonna put 8,200 on that one. Down. We're in flap speed. I'm going to slowing her up for approach. Still don't see the runway yet, though. So then our next altitude after this is going to be 66. And we have runway in sight. Yeah, we'll get a little more juice in there. All right, landing checks geared down. Not too fast there. So landing checks geared down, landing lights on. Auto feather is armed. Landing checks complete. All right, let's bring her home, guys. Let's bring her home. And with all that set, even if we couldn't see yet, we're not at minimums. You can see we're right on path. And that crew is how you do an RNAV in the Beech Starship. And of course, if you had the GPS, the 430, and you could do a couple RNAV approach, just like you would any other planes with that type of GPS in. It's 1,000 feet, clear to land, stable. Always in sight. My plane. Gus there. Thinking about floating. And then we slowed down too much there. Had a nose stall, so we kind of smacked her in. Oh well. Alright, reverse thrust. So that's the thing too, you want to keep your power up. So what happened was with that is I started the flare just a little too early. And
exit next available taxiway, November 723 Sierra Charlie.
And the forward wing stalled out before so what happened was the forward wings stalled out before the wings stalled out, which is a canard issue. And what that is that it's just an indication that I'm really rusty. But we were luckily low enough that we just kind of just slapped her in there, but there really wouldn't have been very much damage if it was real life. Except, you know, my ego.
November 723 Sierra Charlie, contact ground 124.55.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ground 124.55.
Probably nose gear would probably get a little, would need to get a little look-see. But all that is in trying to not float her, I let the nose stall out. But we were pretty close to flare. I'm not satisfied with that. Don't get me wrong. Stop recording. But that's what happened. All right, so after landing checklist, we got landing lights off. Taxi lights on. This goes to low. Turn off all our heats. Don't know why I just hit the de-ice. All right, all our heats. Standbys can come off. Oxygen supply push off. Wait, no, that's the parking one. Sorry. Taxi lights flaps retract. Weather radar can go to standby. transponder can go to standby. Auto feather is disarmed. Engine ignitions disarmed. All the heats are off, and including windshield heat, and we are good to taxi him. But we'll see that demonstrated in the replay, how the nose stalled out on me. And being so close to the ground, I couldn't predict that. So we did an old slapperooey. That seems like a lot of work to set up a RNAV approach. Yes, but it's so cool. And when it works, as I said, this plane has that neat edge to it that makes it interesting, especially having to program the CDU. It's still got that computer, but it's more like Texas Instruments computer. You got it down pretty good. I was impressed. Thank you. I did do my homework on that one. We got here. What's the lineup? Looks like a lot of Airbuses. That one is E175 maybe. Yeah, we'll come up over here to Jackson Aviation. See what our slapperooey costs us in feet per minute. Yeah, we'll let the ground handlers fix her later. All right. Parking brake on. We'll forgo the parking checklist, but these are the items we would be going through. Parking brake, taxi light off, standby altimeter is caged, oxygen supply is off, inertial separators would be off, anti-ice all off. Pretty much shutting everything down. That's what that checklist is for. And then the shutdown was just a reminder that we would let it cool down for about a minute, and then we would throw the condition levers into idle cutoff. That's shut down. But we're not going to do that because of replay purposes. But welcome to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I actually like flying into this airport. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of terrain challenges, especially when it's, you know, a blizzard. But let's check out that replay. So we're going to see what I mean about the nose stalling. So I let it, that's what I did. I let it get, so one of the benefits of a canard plane is that this wing here will always stall well before this wing. And what that does is it actually offers a stall protection because it kind of just mushes into a somewhat semblance of flight that's very manageable. But where the problem lies with the canard is during landing. If you let the speed bleed off too fast, like we saw, this will stall first, and the nose will then drop. I was so trying to make that butter that I was already too slow coming across the numbers. So see, stall, bang. Yeah, that was a little rough. All right, Limp Rocketeer, you're right. I'm going to have to put it in maintenance. .206. Still was a little rough. Right? It just looks cool. And no matter what, even when you screw up, this plane looks cool. All right, guys, that's going to be the stream for tonight. I got work tomorrow, so I got to do the whole bed sleep thing. So wind this back. I want to appreciate everyone for joining in and watching this flight with the Starship. This one was a fun one, and we're going to be doing that cool A340 trip to St. Helena next week. I'll post the schedule tomorrow evening when I get home from work. So I want to thank everyone for joining in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I want to thank Limp Rocketeer. He's the moderator for the channel, and we had a new member join to the channel, and that was Blowheed. Welcome in, and on to the next one, guys. I'm Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John. See ya.